This is the Night Owls Disc Golf Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm JP.
And I'm Ben.
And JP is definitely not going to be here for the whole episode.
No, I'm not.
But
my audio is probably not even that good. I'm in the middle of it. I'm at a resort.
You're in a store, you said?
No, I'm at a resort.
Oh, okay.
For this wedding that I'm at.
Are you on the Cape?
Yes. Yeah. On Cape Cod, currently in Falmouth, I think is how it's pronounced. And we're staying at a place called Farmouth. And just out here for a friend's wedding. I told Shane, I was like, here, just send me the link. I'll get on for like 5 minutes. Well, I just snuck away for a little bit. So, yeah, that's what's up.
Well, we're glad to hear your voice. So anything new, exciting, or adventurous that you've done while you've been gone?
Let's see. Well, we woke up at 1 a.m. Friday, drove to Milwaukee to leave at 6 in the morning, flew to St. Louis, which was dumb, but and then flew to Boston, and then it took us 2 hours from Boston to actually get to our destination. Bumper to bumper traffic because it's obviously Labor Day weekend. And we went whale watching yesterday, so that was the highlight, and then wedding today.
Did you whale watch or whale look for?
No, actually whale watch. We got some really
sweet.
good videos and pictures and stuff, and we went to this preserve out on the water where it's a natural, it's like a known feeding habitat. It's like a plateau, underwater plateau where whales come, a lot of humpback whales, minke whales. And yeah, we saw probably about 10 or so, which was pretty awesome.
Like big ones, little ones, all different sizes?
Yeah, there's definitely a calf. There's two naturalists on the boat, and so they're like, here's the situation, there's a pod or whatever about, and then saw them breach and come to the surface and slap tails and all that fun stuff. And then there's a calf that would come to the surface more because it needed oxygen more because it's younger. So pretty exciting.
Very neat. So if you were to make a disc out of what you saw, what would be describe it with the beautiful language that we have?
The spout?
Okay.
Like the plume of I don't know what you call it. I don't know if that's what it's called, but yeah.
Like when they come up and go, pfft,
yeah,
like that thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Blowhole.
That would be the disc name, Blowhole?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Are you going to buy anything while you're out there?
No.
You found a disc golf shop?
No, not even close. We're actually leaving tomorrow early. Well, we have to get up early because traffic from here back to Boston is going to be a real pain in the butt. So I haven't had a chance to buy anything. I'm waiting for those, if they're coming in, the Casey White discs to come into the shop. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Very nice. Yep, We'll have those. And we just purchased we'll talk about it, but we purchased the time lapse. So that'll be coming in. And then we got obviously the hexes and the whatever those things are, the buzzes. So those are the fun ones that'll come in. And then the Casey White disc, we should have, I think we ordered 10, or I think I ordered 10 of them. I think I ordered them. If I didn't, I will order them soon. There's still some on the site. No. Well, cool, man. How much longer do you got?
Just a couple minutes.
All right. Well, then we'll quickly get into it. So door_disc_golf, night_owl_pod, and then doordisc.com is where you can buy all your disc golf stuff and needs and things. So with that being said, what do you feel the pillars of life are? JP, we'll start with you.
The pillars of life?
I'll get into something good.
Oxygen, water.
Okay.
Family. I think that's a pillar of life, like the people that surround you. That's about all I got.
All right, that's a good one. Those are good 3. Ben, pillars of life.
All I need are some tasty waves, a cool buzz, and I'm fine.
I don't believe you.
Okay, Spicoli.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So that's what you're going with?
Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
All right, that sounds good. So I'm going to say faith, family, friendships, and we'll just do faith, family, and friendships. I think that's a good one. So if we were to turn this on its head, what are the pillars of disc golf?
Disc chargers.
Disc charger, okay. But not draw them, just use them.
Yep. Well, both hand in hand. Disc chargers, spit outs.
And blaming the wind.
Blaming literally anything but yourself.
How about you, JP?
OB rollers.
Are we referring to Chris Dickerson, this, from what I understand?
Maybe. And plastic. Gotta have plastic.
Okay, the pillars. So the pillars of disc golf are circles, foils, and
chains.
There you go. Circles, foils, and chains. So, all right, JP, why do you suck?
So on vacation and haven't played disc golf. I haven't got, I watched maybe I think I watched the first 2 rounds of World Championships, and then beyond that, I didn't have a chance to watch anything. So not a whole lot of disc golf happening for me this past week. That's pretty much why I suck.
Are there any disc golf courses on the Cape?
I hadn't checked. Boston's like an hour away from like Worcester and like Maple Hill and Pyramids and everything. I didn't actually look to see if there was any disc golf courses while I'm here. But now that you mention it, I will go on UDisc and find out.
Better be some of the nicest disc golf courses around.
Yeah, I'm sure they're pay to play and expensive.
Hey, you could take a boat and you could go to Nantucket.
That's true.
Which is where Ricky played with the shopping. He played a shopping bag round.
Yep.
On Canada.
Oh, that's right.
Eric and Tina Oakley got married there.
Don't they have like a tournament that happens every year? Just kind of like a funsy tournament that happens every year. They're out.
I think so. Now that you mention it.
Yeah, I thought that because I thought I've heard Terry talk about it a couple times.
That could be.
All right, Ben, why do you suck?
Because for the second year in a row, I've been like, hey, my tournament season's over, and then I end up playing in another tournament after I make that post.
Well, what tournament did you play in?
I was down in the Milwaukee area for something else, like a prior engagement, and then I made a very, very last minute impromptu because turns out I was only going to be 30 minutes away, and I played in the Shix circuit challenge.
The circuit. Okay.
Ooh, how's
the discs? Okay.
Overstable, dude. And everything in there was overstable, and they didn't have a real putter.
Well, was it a mid that they were throwing for the putter, or what?
It was a serve. The discs were a servo, a tempo,
yep.
And then I forgot what the streamline one was. It was like a zone.
Oh, just super overstable.
Everything. I'm pulling it up right now, but everything was.
Is that
really
stabilizer? That sound right?
Maybe. I'm pulling it up right now, but I ended up shooting very well for that. I shot 1 under.
Oh, nice. Were you playing Red Fox?
It was Red Fox, and then it was the front 9 of Gray Fox, and they were Gray Fox in a mix of short and longs. It was a servo, a tempo, and a runway.
A runway, yeah. Okay.
So, all things considered, I had fun. It was a good time. I ended up parking the last hole and don't hit your head park job. But yeah, I just wish that there was like an actual putter in there and something not overstable.
Well, it seems like you made it work though. That's good.
Didn't make it work. It was fun, but that's why I suck though, because I keep saying it's 2 years in a row. I say I'm done, and then I can play in this. This will work.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And
that's
then
what's going to
it
happen
happens.
with the Fall Classic. You're just going to be like,
Yeah,
hey, I'm done. And I'll
100%.
play.
Yeah, 100%.
For sure. I feel like that's not sincere.
Really, it's just gonna come down to of what time. Like, I gotta just commit. I just gotta figure it out, and I know it's gonna happen.
Agreed. So I suck this last time because I had a case of the shank rights again. So just pulling my shoulder over and shanking right. So I have to figure that out, and I couldn't fix it this time. Usually I can fix it after 2 or 3 throws. I know what I'm doing, and I'll just leave my shoulder a little more, and just couldn't do it. I just had a case of the shanks, but still won league, which was cool. I think we 8 down. I think Tom and I played, so it was a pretty good league night. So, all right. So what do we buy? Throwers, hangers, or flippers? JP, you said you're waiting to get the Casey White disc.
Yeah, goose egg for me.
Goose egg. All right. Ben.
I just got the stuff from the Circuit Challenge. The servo's pretty cool. It's like a nice complement to like a relay or a crave, so that might make the bag. I like the tempo a lot. That's going to replace my Malta. I like that better, so that's going in the bag for sure. But the runway, no dice, not for me. Did not like it.
Staying there. I've heard that is a very, very overstable disc.
Yeah, it's just a faster zone.
Okay.
It's like a 5-speed zone, and it dumps so fast.
Man, I'm trying to think of what disc. Yeah, I guess I've seen that. I've thrown one once. Yeah,
it's like it's
super overstable.
They listed at 5, 4.5, 3.5. And like the way that it's like the edge is designed, or like the way that it felt in my hand, I was like, this feels like a Zone or like a Toro or something like that, but just a little bit faster. So that's like what it was. And it was on some of those, like, just to wrap it up quick about the Circuit Challenge, like there are like some long holes out there when they're like when those pins are in the long positions. And when the fastest thing you have is a 6.5 speed, it was kind of tough.
Oh, I bet. Because a servo was your fastest disc, is that correct? Or
yeah,
was it...
yeah, it's the servo at 6.5, 5, -1, 2. So still stable to overstable, but when that's the fastest thing you're working with, like I couldn't hyzer. It's not really good for hyzer flipping to trying to get any extra distance or anything. So
sure. No. Well, I goose egged as well. I did not purchase anything this week. It's been fairly hectic week, but as far as just staying busy, I just haven't really had a lot of time. So, and I said about the pizza bags last week. So yeah, so that's the last thing I bought was the pizza bags, the dry bags. So, all right. Well, we'll go through the preview. And how much longer you got, JP?
Actually, I should probably head out.
All right, man. Well, before we get to the preview, thanks for stopping by. We'll have a full episode next week with you then.
Have fun with the rest of the episode. You guys talking worlds, pretty much?
Yep, just a little bit. Yep, we'll go over it. And then start thinking for next week your picks for the awards.
Okay.
So we'll do some early awards picks for next week. So start thinking.
Yeah, maybe 2-time major when it slides in there now.
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows?
So.
All right, guys. Have a good rest of the night.
You too.
Bye.
Yeah,
thanks, JP.
All right. And I think he is gone. Was he allowed to leave? Are we going to have his audio now that he's left?
Well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I guess so.
And we might need to text him. We'll see when this is over.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just preface this that if we don't have JP's audio because he is attending a prior engagement and this is delayed a little bit, we apologize in advance if this is a later release episode on your Labor Day Monday.
That's right.
So that is the disclaimer right off the bat. So sorry.
Yeah, because we might have to get to him and have him log back in and download, because it does download native, which is good. So it should be on his phone. With that being said, let's go for the preview. So we're going to talk Disc Golf World Championships that just ended a couple hours ago. Well, no, geez, what about an hour ago? The most, huh? And then we'll talk with Simon Lines. We'll have a quick conversation about the Glitch World Championships, and then we'll just get into Ben's random question, and then we'll do some shop updates. And then we'll call our quits. And I think, I'm not going to say it out loud, but it might be a short episode. So.
You say that, but we're already 15 minutes in. So.
And I was kind of going through it pretty quick because I wanted to talk about the Pillars of Life more, but I knew we didn't have a lot of time. So. With that being said, let's get into Disc Golf World Championships. I do have to put out the disclaimer. I will have a more educated opinion about the actual play next week when we talk. But we can talk about results. I have just simply not had enough time to, or did not make enough time to consume any of the coverage. So with that being said,
I got you.
I'll let Ben take over the Disc Golf World Championships that just finished up.
Yeah, so we will start it off on the FPO side, and I will say that this was a very strong showing for our friends from Europe. Starting in, we'll go with sixth place was Silva Saarinen, and then tied for fourth was Henna and Evelina, and then in third place at 14 under was Holland Handley, friend of the podcast. So shout out to Holland. And then
that's her
Missy,
second year third in Worlds in a row.
I can't wait for her to just start being the one that's like popping off, like it's like the her and Kristen
Agreed.
battle. Like I'm looking forward to that. But then Missy Gannon, to me, Missy's like, I love Missy. I think she's a great player, great person. It's just unfortunately just another year of Missy being the bridesmaid and not capturing hers. But she played very well, all things considered, because she was 6 strokes clear of Holland, but then unfortunately 6 strokes behind Kristen, who captures her second world championship in a row at 26 under, becoming the first back-to-back winner since Val Jenkins. Now Val Das. Other notables of just to finish, Val Mandujano finished tied for 7th with Macy Vela Diaz. Allie Smith also finished tied for 7th. We might remember her from her KC Wide Open. She recently left teaching to pursue a disc golf career, and she had an ace, one of the only aces out there over the weekend, and she absolutely torched the chains with her ace. Took like the closest route possible to get to the basket, and that disc was flying in there and basically what you would consider exploding the chains. Other notables of just down the line, just things to mention. Rebecca Cox was finished in 36th. She was the last person to make the cut. She was 31 over for the event, putting her 57 strokes behind Kristen Tatar.
So gap between first cast and last cast is 57 strokes.
57 strokes, yep. But then just real quick on the FPO side, just to mention any names that did not make the cut. Sarah Hokum did not make the cut, former world champion. So I'm sure Statmando will have that somewhere. World champions did not make a cut. Kona Montgomery did not make the cut. Alexis Mandujano did not make the cut. And that's pretty much it for your notables on the FPO side of folks that did not make
Sarah
the cut.
Gilpin did go 2 years in a row as the Disc Golf World Putting Champion, who is a DD player and a fellow reptile enthusiast for Juliana and Nick Schick. So I ran into her and played with her at Silver Creek one random day. We were just having to be practicing and had no clue who she was, and noticed she had like DD symbols all over and all that stuff, and got to talk with her. So, all right, want to move on to MPO?
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll just we did top 6 because there were ties on the other side. So we'll do top 6 here because there's ties. In 6th place was a 3-way tie between Alden Harris, Gannon Burr, and Kyle Klein. In 5th place, Calvin Heimberg. Tied for 3rd place, Eagle McMahon and Matty O. In 2nd place, Anthony Barella. And taking it home, your first-time world champion, Isaac Robinson, is your 2023 MPO world champion, blistering 46 under for the event.
And what a great win prize wise. So first takes down $30,000. Second, Anthony Barella takes down 20, and then Eagle takes down 13.5, as well as Matty O. And then it goes down from there 10. Even, I mean, in fifth place, Calvin Heimberg takes home 10 grand. So it's great to see that type of money come through. And then in your FPO, you have, I got to get down there. Hold on a minute. FPO, Tatar takes home 15, so basically half. And then Missy Gannon takes home 10. Holland Hanley takes home $6,500, and then Evelina and Hannah Blumroos both take home $3,675. So field sizes, there were 78 players in FPO and 216 in MPO. So quite a few. So I want to talk about some standouts. So Simon Lizotte, which I believe I picked to win, came in 11th. Paul McBeth, for the first time since 2012, am I correct that he did not finish on the podium?
That's correct. That's the first time, not even the podium. This is the first time he hasn't either won or finished as the runner-up.
Jeez.
And the thing is that he didn't play horribly either. And in other world championships, 35 under could get you a win.
Yeah, I'm curious to know when they played Brewster at the World Championships last, what it would have been in Fox Run. I wonder.
I
can pull it up.
Barsby won. That was 2018.
That was Barsby. He came in second. I remember that because Barsby had that ridiculous throw on 18 that was like, yeah, they shouldn't have been in, but for some reason it stayed in. And
Barsby 41 was the winning score, and he beat Paul McBeth and Josh Anton. They were 39 under, and then fourth and fifth place in 2018 was Paul Ulibarri and then Matty O. So Matty O,
good for them.
So Matty O and
guys
Smugs are good friends.
Speaking of, where did Paul Eula 40th? Okay, 23 under. He didn't do too bad. He still won $1,000.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Notable, I want to point out, Evan Scott was in second going into the day. He struggled for the round, but that young man is 18 years old and has a lot of world championships and a lot ahead of him. And I thought that he carried himself quite well and played very well. Finished in 15th. So Evan Scott's going to be a name that we should be on the lookout for in the future.
And is that 2 over on the day? Is that right? Par 60?
No, 1 under.
1 under on the day. Okay, so it's 63.
But yeah, Adam Hammis locally he DNF'd. But just looking down the line,
Haley King finished in 13th on the FPO side.
Just doing the same right now, quick for notables to not make the cut on the MPO side. I'm just pulling it up. The highest ranked player in the world, Manabu Kajiyama, did not make the cut. Looking elsewhere,
Casey White did not make the cut.
Thomas Gilbert did not make the cut. Steve Brinster did not make the cut. Yeah, I mean, just a lot of guys that people, Nate Perkins, Chandler Fry, Brody finished in 99th. He did not make the cut.
And our 2 locals, Matt Haney and Isaac Finnick, did not make the cut, unfortunately, but love to see those guys. They actually finished tied.
Oh, that's right. There they are.
Yeah.
But one last notable, Grady Shue. Grady Shue, who, obviously has kind of taken a step back from tour life, now that he and Paige have have a child and they kind of pick and choose what they want to play and, you know, what they're contractually obligated to play or what, you know, their sponsors want. Very happy to see him out there and playing well.
Mm-hmm.
So good for Grady. Just excited to see a lot of people.
And he just quietly stepped back out of existence as far as disc golf goes. And it was even prior to them having a baby, because I wanted to say he was a Lat 64 sponsored guy. And this is just off of memory. I could be completely wrong. I thought he was a Lat 64 sponsored guy that just kind of stepped back out of the limelight and decided to just drop his sponsorship, decided not to renew on his own accord. And then from there, just slowly came back. And I don't even know, is he sponsored at the present moment by anybody?
Infinite. So he's throwing a mixed bag. So
okay. So yeah, well, good for him. I mean, he's stepping back in the limelight and
17th place. That's a very good showing when you think about the scores and everybody at the top.
Absolutely. So, well, another World Championships in the books. So congratulations to Isaac Robinson as a first time, and then Kristen Tatar. And we will have to make mention that there were quite a few knotted up there at the top that were Prodigy. So out of the top 7, 3 of them were all Prodigy. Am I correct? So
yeah, I mean Alden Harris, Gannon, Isaac. I mean, yeah, and then there were guys that used to play for Prodigy also in the mix in the top 10, and Chris Dickerson and Matty O.
Yep. So, well, good for them. I mean, those young guys are really they kind of bet the caboose on them, and sure enough, it's working out for them. I'm not sure if bet the caboose is a saying, but we'll roll with it.
Yeah. And now we
bet the farm. That's the one I was talking about.
And now we will look forward to Worlds 2024 in the Lynchburg area in Virginia. That's
going to be at the Paul Macbeth course, right?
Correct. So there's 2 courses. I don't know exactly what they'll look like because one's like on a golf course that wasn't like finished yet or was still being refined ahead of Worlds, and then one's like the really technical woods one that you see on all the foundation videos and stuff. So
yeah.
But Worlds is always a fun time because it's 5 rounds and it's really the cream of the crop. The cream rises to the top.
It sure does. All right, so let's talk Simon lines real quick. So Simon is getting a new disc that will be put out here pretty shortly. I think we're only allowed 10 of them as dealers, and it's the time lapse. And if you look at the little video that MVP put out about Simon lines, it basically it's the time lapse is the camera, because the last 10 years or 15 years of his life has been basically dedicated to a camera. So it feels like there's a very important thing there. And then you pointed out so elegantly that he has a new logo, and I didn't realize it. I don't like it as much as his old one, but you did explain that it looks like the Autobahn logo. Is that correct?
Yeah. So Simon put out a vlog where he like inserted sort of some of that MVP clip into there, and then he went through and kind of talked about like the design process of his new logo, and he like was just very open because he worked directly in-house with the MVP crew on designing it and their design team, and he was showing all the initial mock-ups and everything for it in the video, but he had said that they were getting kind of close, but he was like, this feels closer, but doesn't feel quite right yet. And then he was thinking about like, what is the Simon line? And he was thinking about like key hit points of like going your own way, choosing your own path, choosing different rules. Like don't play by the rules, I guess is a better thing. And then he sent it as a joke that he likes the Autobahn, like, so on stretches of the Autobahn in Germany, obviously where he's from, they have a sign of where the stretches are where there is no speed limit. So he sent this to the MVP design team half joking, like, hey, like, let's think about this. And then they kind of put it together and refined it. So his new logo is based in part by the traffic sign of the no speed limit, no limits on the Autobahn, which is a circle with vertical lines, basically going from. If you haven't seen it yet and you're listening to me describe it, it's a circular sign, and then it has diagonal lines from basically like 2 to 7 o'clock on a clock.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then it's kind of morphed into an S.
Yep. So yeah, it's basically just the Simon portion, because I've been looking at it like, can I see the L? And I don't see the L. I mean, it may be.
Yeah, there's no L. It's just that. It's just the S.
It's just the S, right? Yep.
Yep.
And his logo is "Do it your own way, make your own path. There are no limits." And in true Simon fashion, like, he just comes up with some of the most inspirational stuff on just by the seat of his pants, and it just works out so very well for him. So I love it, and I think the integrity behind how it came to be and what it means and what it symbolizes, well, I think it's a lot better than his old Simon Lizotte and then his old logo. So, because I think there's something behind it now. It's not just initials like everybody else's in disc golf.
That's what he said in that vlog. He was like, I want to do something different, because he was like, yeah, like no limits, break the rules if or whatever. He was like, well, right now, like the current standard and the current rules are everybody's doing their initials. Like, I want to do something different. Yep. So he did mention that directly. I wonder if he owns this logo.
I would hope so. I hope he learned from the last one. But then again, he's $10 million over 10 years. He never has to play another thing again. And if they want to continue on with this line, like, they may. But I would assume so. I'm assuming he's a smarter guy than that. So, speaking of Simon and making discs popular, we have the glitch. And Ben, what is happening this coming weekend?
So this weekend is a break between Pro Tour events, because we'll have Maple Hill coming up. It'll be Maple Hill, the last playoff event, and then there will be like the U.S. Women's will be coming up, and then there's USDGC, Throw Pink, and then finally the Tour finale. But right now, this is an off week. The Glitch World Championships are happening at Maple Hill on a custom layout designed by Mr. Lizotte himself. Steve Dodge is the TD. But basically, you can bring as many glitches as you want. You can only throw glitches. And yes, it was specified that people did ask for them, or that the glitch with the German, the GLITSCH, is fair game.
The Gleesh.
But yes, it should be a lot of fun. I'm not playing. JP should have just stayed out there and played.
Agreed. So there are 151 players signed up for it, and
including Matty O.
Hold on. I don't see him. I do see Steve Dodge signed up.
3 spots above him on the list.
Sarah Hokum, Matt Oram, absolutely, Matty O. Yeah, and there's not too many other that I recognize. Christopher Drews. I was hoping Simon would be there.
I think he will be there. I just don't know. Maybe if he's playing. I think he was playing. I don't know. With glitches only. Your entry fees include a glitch world championship glitch, so a tournament glitch, and then if you are a winner of your division, you get a signed glitch.
Simon Lizotte signed tournament disc for the winner. And Maple Hill Green fees are also included. So you don't even have to pay other than the tournament fee to go. And I believe there's still room. There is no wait list at the present moment. So
time to see what the premier event is. Is it the Glitch World Championships or is it the Poco Ocha?
I don't know. It's Glitch World Championships. Has to be. I think
there better be coverage, because there was coverage of the Poco Ocha.
Yeah, but I think that ship has sailed. I think the polecat is irrelevant now that the glitch is Simon's baby.
Fair. That's
Fair
fair.
enough.
The
I
glitch is
would
just more versatile. Like you can,
agreed.
like you can actually use the glitch for more disc golf shots than the
Yep.
polecat.
So we went out and played a bite. So Lat 64 has the bite, and we played glitch. And I need to start posting them on Instagram. The glitch is a very usable. Actually, you can throw it pretty darn far. Fairly torque resistant. I mean, it is a. I've always thought it was a lot of hype, and people just bought it because it was Simon Lizotte. It is a great disc. Like it throws really well. If you can get a true grip on that disc, like if it's because it is goofy, it's pretty deep
Yeah.
rim, pretty blunt, so it's like a polecat ish. I wouldn't call it like a polecat, or it's not shaped like a polecat, but it has a similar vibe to it. But if you can get a decent grip on it, like you have a big enough hand, you can absolutely rip that thing. Because I was throwing it pretty consistently, pretty accurately, 270 to 300. No joke.
It
Witnesses.
glides
It
for
was
days.
forever. And it doesn't if you have some off access, it'll roll on you for sure. But if you have some good release with a putter, like if you throw a putter well, the glitch will go for days, and it goes exactly where you point it. If you put it on Heiser, it will stay on Heiser. If you put it on Annie, it'll stay on Annie. It's amazing. One of the better discs, one of the better meme discs out there, in my opinion.
I still want to try the Divergent discs. That's like next on my.
What's
Is that-
Divergent?
They're kind of in the same realm as like elevation discs in terms of
Okay.
like they're not like that floppy, but they're more like we'll call it rubber than plastic. So
Mhm.
but it's the similar vibe of their discs, some of their discs to like the glitch in that like a lot of glide, but you have to throw it right. Like you have to throw it with like the right angle to get it to do what you want it to do.
Yeah, the glitch, I found that you have to give it height. If you give it height and you can keep the nose down, I guess that's what any disc. But if you give it height and you can at least keep it flat to nose down, it just goes for days. And if you want like a nice controlled nose up glidey where it just kind of hangs in the air and just drops where you won't get any skip and not a lot of movement left or right depending on how you throw it, it's good. And if you're really good at forehands, I had one forehand that just was brilliant and the rest of them were garbage, but I had one forehand that was absolutely brilliant. And rescue rollers, absolutely. It's a good disc.
How'd you like the bite?
I really like the bite. So I consider it a fastback.
Yeah.
So it's a, but it is a fastback that, once again, if you can throw a putter, well, not an overstable putter, not a zone, like just a standard putter, like put a deputy or a judge or warden or P2, whatever in your hand. Well, P2 is pretty stable, but if you can throw those cleanly, the bite you can throw well. I can throw a glitch not much further, but I can throw a glitch considerably further. And the bite stability, high speed stability is not there.
Then
a
I'm
good
excited for you to throw an alien, because if you could
I-
if you could throw the bite well, I think then you could throw the. I think then you would enjoy the alien more if you're throwing the bite well.
Mm-hmm.
Then for actual disc golf purposes, then you would enjoy the alien a great deal.
I held yours, and you said it like it felt. Do I remember? Did I say it was like a Mako and a Sonic top with a Mako bottom? Is that what I felt like it was?
Did you?
Like a
Did I
Mako
see
3?
you? Did you hold it?
Yeah, you were in the shop. Somebody handed me one. Maybe it was Joe's.
Yeah, I haven't seen you in person in a bit. So
Oh no, you're right.
then,
You haven't.
then it must have been somebody else. But I did say
Okay.
that we had the conversation of trying to identify what the bottom was for what mid. But yeah, Mako for sure is what I was.
Okay, it is a Mako.
What I had thought.
That's kind of what I was assuming when I grabbed it. I was like, whoa, this is like I said shark at first. And I was like, no, this is like a Mako bottom, and then yeah, the Sonic top. And I like the Sonic. Like I said, I Matt Yadis got me hooked on the Sonic, and I bought one or two of them, and I really liked them. I just don't really. I know those novelty discs don't have a place in my bag because I want to be able to trust them no matter what. You know,
That's fair.
so, but the glitch, maybe.
I found with the Alien, I can't put my thumb when I throw it on the track. We'll call it the track for it. I have to put it more on the actual flight plate for me to get any like thing out of it.
Oh, you like get up on the top of it.
Yeah, not so like all the way on the top, but I can't put it on there because like I feel like I lose some control. So that's just my personal sense of how I feel like I've gotten that.
You know, it's funny because when I hold a disc, I don't know if I put like, I mean, maybe when I'm lining up, I'll put some pressure into my thumb. But I think after that, I almost don't even put any pressure on my thumb. I don't know. I'm just thinking. I'm not holding a disc, so I wouldn't be able to say. So, all right. Well, Ben, you got a random question for me, sir?
Yeah. What's the most useless thing you own in your home right now that just kind of sits there?
I have exercise equipment that, don't we all, I guess. The most useless thing that I own in my house. Now, it has to be in the house. It's not like a garage.
Well, that counts. That counts.
Okay.
That's something that it's more or less just like, what's this one thing that you bought or that you have that you literally never use that just kind of sits there? And it can't be like a decoration, just something that you fully bought intending to use it.
Yeah, fully bought it. Like I was like, this is going to be the best thing in the world. We're going to make all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
There's two things. So one thing is a Cricut, you know, the vinyl cutting things. So bought it, used the heck out of it for like 2.5 weeks. And I think it's sat in that same position for probably the last 4 months, for 5 months. I think I bought it like in February or March. It's been sitting there since about 3 weeks after that. Made a couple sweatshirts and, you know, pants and stuff like that, like with some logos on them, but that was it. And just like fun, like my son just swims on a swim team, and he like got a sweater and he put "Eat My Bubbles" on the back of it, and that was it. And then the other thing downstairs, I have it's pretty cool. Like it gave me some enjoyment because I got to restore it, but I bought a AMT jointer, a 6-inch jointer. It's for woodworking, and it was garbage. And the guy said that he couldn't get the motor to work the right way, blah, blah, blah. So the motor was reversed. So I rewired the motor. I like cleaned the top, you know, did all the blades and everything, and used it maybe like 2 times. And I've never used it since. And I've had it for probably 4 years, but it just sits there and it is a work table. No, it's just a catch-all table. Like if I have a piece that I'm like, okay, what do I do with this? Well, I'll just put it on the joiner for now. That's it. So those are the two things. What about you?
So the one thing is just we have a Keurig. Like it gets some use out of it, but it's just like our mornings are so hectic and like we're scrambling, and it's just like making coffee is like where both my wife and I both work is like there are coffee and beverages there, like that we just you know, so that it's just like I'll just grab coffee from work. Like it's just like the last thing. And like it's nice having the Keurig, and it does get some use out of it, but it literally rarely gets used.
So you're not like a quick trip in the morning guy then?
No. It's not that. Yeah, we're just so busy that it's just like I don't really stop. Like it's just like we're go to get out the door.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I guess my flip side of this is then what is like one thing that like either your wife or somebody brought home and you're like, that's stupid. We're never like, why? We're never going to use that. And then now you're just like, this is the greatest thing ever.
Okay. So my wife wanted a espresso machine, like one of those like countertop espresso machines. Like it's not an espresso. It's like something like it actually has a little steam wand and it grinds the beans and all that stuff.
Fancy.
I don't, yeah, it was fancy. It was like I don't know, like $400 or $500. And I'm like, this thing is going to sit on the counter and never get used. It is one of the coolest things. And we use it a lot. Not right now because we have a restaurant that has an actual espresso machine in it. But during the off season, like it gets used every single day. I use it. She uses it probably 2 or 3 times a day. I mean, it's amazing. Because even if you just want like hot cocoa, like
Ooh, to
steam
heat up the
one, good to
milk.
go.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it's so good. Yeah, you just drop the cocoa in there and then put, man, it's so nice. So nice. So that is the one that I was when she wanted it for her birthday or it's Christmas. I don't remember what it was. I was like, all right, this will be the thing. And I was like, this is going to be stupid. We're going to end up putting it in the cabinet like one of those freaking like, what do they call those things? The air fryers. It's going to end up next to the air fryer in the cabinet that never gets used. But that might be another one too. Yeah, but it's awesome. It's one of the best investments we've ever made.
For us, it's a rice cooker.
Oh yeah.
Like some people like it's a game changer in the sense
Agreed.
of like that. It's one of those things you just set it and forget it because those things are so smart with like the detection of everything, and then you just hit 2 buttons, then you're there, and you don't need to like sit and baby it like you would like if you're boiling on the stove.
Right.
And we like rice. We make our own Indian food at least like twice a month. So
nice. So you cook all kinds of rice.
Yeah.
Like different types of rice.
Basmati, jasmine. Yeah.
You get some long grain going.
Yeah. Our rice maker's got some miles on it.
No, is this like a hardcore rice maker or is it like one of those like Aurora or whatever rice makers?
It's
I would say steamer.
I would say that it's like it's a step up from that in the sense of that it's a dedicated rice maker, but it's not like the high end ones that like are like a couple $100. But this one was probably like 60, so it's not like one of those catch all do it all types, but it's like in that it's just a dedicated rice maker. But it's a good one. It's a high quality one.
We have one of those catch all do it alls that we were like, ooh, it steams, it does all this stuff. The only thing we use it for is rice. We use it a lot too. We eat a lot of rice in our house. I want one of those cool ones that like you see like you watch like, I don't know, Asian cooking channels or something like that, or like Instagram where they have like all the fun noises and stuff that it makes. And it makes like, or they have the ones that'll like make rice balls too.
I've seen those ones? Yeah, those things are nuts. Those things, I was looking at those the other day. Like $300.
Really?
Yeah. Well, some of those
Don't they make like
some of those high end ones that like the ones that I were seeing were like very high quality, high end, and like definitely if you like lived in an Asian household in different parts of the world where like rice is like the staple, then it would be like, get it. Totally get the investment in that.
Oh. Yeah, those are incredible. I always look at them. I'm like, man, I want one of those things. I've never looked them up because our rice cooker works perfectly fine. But if I'm spending that much money, like I'm going to buy a commercial steamer.
Yeah.
Because those ones are easy to clean. It's just all that stuff. It just won't have the cool noises it makes. Like I'm just so enthused by the amount of like chimes and jingles it has.
Do you guys do Instapot or pressure cooking?
We do. Yeah. Actually, we had a pressure cooked pot roast. That's what I scarfed before we got on here.
Nice.
In my panic that I needed to get on here and I was an hour early.
Yeah, we have a Ninja pressure cooker that we just got not too long ago. Pressure cooking is cool. Once you get over the initial fear of thinking that you're going to blow it up, but really you just follow you just follow directions and nothing will blow up.
Yep, that's the same thing we have. And for the life of me, I can't figure out all the settings. Like all the like buttons, and then when you push it and it's ready to pressure cook, I'm like, is it cooking? And it just has like the 2 P's on the front or something like that. You're like, is it cooking yet? And then all of a sudden you hear it like bubbling and whatever. Well,
isn't that funny though? That like we buy these machines that just have all these like functions and we only use 3 of them. Yeah, it's like
exactly.
I was thinking about that. That's how my random question kind of came up today. I was like looking at I was warming something up in the microwave and I was like, Do you think anybody has ever actually? Why is there a 7 on a microwave? Who's put anything? Because no, like I understand.
37 seconds.
I fully understand that this microwave can defrost something for me, but no, I'm just gonna set it in the sink and let it defrost that way.
And if you need to put something in the microwave for 7 minutes, one of two things is going to happen. It's going to be absolute nuclear hot, like you're not going to be able to eat it, or it's going to be a brick. There's no in between. If it's 7 minutes, zero chance it's going to be anything other than those two things.
At that point, you might as well just read the directions for the oven and preheat the oven.
Exactly. That's where you pull the air fryer out.
Which is not air frying anything. It's just a convection oven.
Exactly. It just sits on your countertop. All right. So I think I already said it, but we'll go one more time over shop updates at doordisc.com. You will be able to get these things pretty soon. So I do have the Simon Line time lapse coming. We have 10 of them because that's all we could get. I do have quite a few hexes coming, the Halloween special hexes. And I do also have some, what was the other Halloween one?
Buzzes.
Oh, yeah, the buzzes. But what was the other thing that came with the hexes? There was a special edition anode. Is that right? Hexian something?
I can look.
Or the other. And then there was like a Sarah Hokum and thingy, and then a thing of a thing.
We're looking right now.
This is a really good shop update here.
They're nomads.
Nope, did not get the nomads.
Did you get the craves?
We got the craves, and there was something else at the bottom. There was anyways, yeah.
Proxy.
We got the craves. Proxy, there you go. So we did pass on the nomads because we have 7,000 nomads. Without exaggeration, we probably have about 120 nomads. So
yeah, I remember.
We figured, yeah, I think you might even have some in your bins.
Yeah.
So with that, that's kind of what we got coming in. Do you have anything inspirational to leave us on?
Follow your dreams. If you are looking to win a world championship, play for Prodigy, because that's just kind of how it's going. If you want to win a major, that's it. I don't know. I don't have anything inspirational. I got to think about that.
All right. Well, I guess we can get back to deuces in the toilet. And
there you go.
Make sure that when you're roasting marshmallows and they catch on fire, do not swing the stick. Just blow them out. That works, right?
Yeah.
Because no one needs a flaming marshmallow flying across the yard. Because when those things hit, they're like magma and napalm.
However, burnt marshmallows are the best marshmallows. So even if you're a little bit toasty, you're still good on the inside.
I agree. That was pretty deep. All right. With that being said, 53 minutes in. We did not make it to an hour, Ben, but hey, it's kind of short.
Just like me.
So. Okay. I was going to say something. I'm not going to. I'll hold off until we stop recording. Peace out. Keep it subpar.